Hello everyone, welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And Jacques Nienaber has finally announced his Springbok squad for the Castle outgoing tour, which will take place next month. And some massive calls, both in who they've left out, as well as who they've included. There is a first call-up ever in the locks, and there's also two very sort of big absentees. But two uncapped players are currently in the squad. And very interesting squad. And we were waiting to sort of see kind of the breakup of the squad, and Jacques Nienaber has gone with a 32-man squad, which is sort of going a little bit back to sort of the normal times, which in itself is quite a good thing. However, some massive calls being made in terms of somebody like ROOS completely missing out, which is quite surprising to a lot of people. Before you look at the squad and stuff like that, please do smash like on the video and subscribe to this channel as well. Right, so your final sort of Springbok squad of the year looks like this. Now, first of all, well, let's just go through it. So in the props, they've named 5 props: Trevor Nyakane, Oxen Chair, Vincent Cox, Stephen Kitsoff, Thomas Atoy. No surprises there. It's pretty much what we'd all kind of predicted. Malcolm Marx, Bongi Manambi, Joseph Dwebe as the locks is also pretty expected. Franco Moster is now being listed as a utility forward, which I'm not sure I'm 100% with. I understand that he did do a role in the flank, but I'm not quite sure we can start picturing him as a utility forward. I do think he is still more sort of an out-and-out lock. You've got Luat Diagi, Eben Edson, Marvin Ori. It's a first-time call-up for Salman Murat. Now, yesterday, I released a video talking about possible Springbok bolters, and I said that Salman Murat is somebody very highly rated by the Springbok coaching staff. It is quite surprising, though, however, that he still manages to get a call-up despite, his 2 yellow cards the last couple of weeks. And there's not a place for somebody like ROOS, which means the loose forwards are Stia Klesi, Marco Verstappen, Dwayne Vermeulen, Jasper Wiese, and Kwagga Smith. It's a massive call. It is really a massive call. A lot of people sort of going and saying that, ROOS has to be a Springbok and he's playing too well to be left out. And I suppose, the argument is you look at those sort of loose forwards and who are you leaving out? Personally, what I would have done is left out Marvin Ori, kept Salman Murat, made Franco Mostert a lock, and I would have named ROOS as an extra loose forward. I think that's probably where I would have gone. To not have named ROOS in the squad as well is massive. But probably even a bigger call is no Warwick GELANT in the side, which for me, I struggle to sort of get my head around it. I really don't understand how we can go at the end of the tour without Warwick GELANT. It's a massive call, and I think it's the wrong one, to be perfectly honest. I do think it is the wrong call. No Cheslin Kolbe either in the squad because of injuries. So it's amazing to think that without Cheslin Kolbe, there still isn't enough space in the squad for Warwick GELANT. So if we're looking at the rest of the back line, scrum halves, Hershey Yankees, Kobus Reinach, and Grant Williams. So we had gone with 3 scrum halves there. And then in the midfield, the Kanya Damon Delendi, Jesse Creel. I'd like to see more from Jesse Creel, to be honest. Not more, next to see more of him. I'd like to see him playing at a better level. Apele Fassi, Vilulu, Maxolma, Pimpy, Spoon, Corsi are the outside backs. So we can probably get to see Apele Fassi this tour. And then the utility backs are Damien Willemse and Frans Steyn. Very interesting squad. Some massive calls. No GELANT, no Cheslin Kolbe. That is through injury. No ROOS. And no more Steyn, who announced his retirement this morning. So that's quite an interesting sort of, sort of new generation. We kept talking about the fact that he wasn't going to be involved in the World Cup. Some people still think he could have been. But he officially did announce his retirement this morning. So, it's an interesting squad. And I don't understand how we can leave Warwick GELANT. Like, I look at the utility backs, and without being that guy, surely there is more value in leaving Frans Steyn behind and taking Warwick GELANT. To be honest, I think Warwick GELANT's actually ahead of Apele Fassi in the pecking order, to be completely honest. I think it would obviously be harsh to leave Apele Fassi out who hasn't played, but Warwick GELANT has probably been the best South African player across the opening 4 rounds of the URC. He's looked absolutely tremendous at fullback. And given the fact that Vilulu is struggling, I don't understand why Warwick GELANT doesn't get called up. That's a huge call for me. I think it's the wrong call as well. So, I don't know. It's interesting. Obviously, there were going to be players to miss out, and I think my biggest issues. I think if you replace Marvin Ori with an ROOS and you move Franco Moster back into the locks, if you take Warwick GELANT ahead of Frans Steyn, even ahead of Jesse Creel if we have to. Obviously, you don't have a lot of centres in there, but if Damien Willemse is going to operate at centre or Frans Steyn can operate at centre, then I could justify that. To leave out Warwick Gelant is a massive call, especially when you think that Jason Colby himself wasn't fit as well. But let me know what you think of the squad down in the comments below. Do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. My name is Steven. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll chat to you soon.